So I invested $5,000, and at the end of the year, I had not recouped that. And so I'm pissed. And so I'm thinking, okay, I can either do one of two things. A, either just give up on it like I do on other ideas, like my blog hadn't really gotten any traction. So I kind of said, screw that. I'm not going to mess around with it.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could dive in and learn everything I could about the medium that I chose to use, which was video. And I'm a geek behind the scenes, which is why we're good friends, Nick, right? We like the techie stuff. We like the data stuff. And I dove behind the scenes of YouTube, learned everything I could, changed a handful of things up within 90 days from September 2013 when that last video hit at 60,000 views. 90 days later, I had 90,000 views, a 50% increase by some drastic changes. And now I'm sitting at, I think it's like it's over 750,000 views, and started getting some cool things that I know we'll get into.
All right. So you just glossed over something, and I don't know if you charge extra for that, but I want to just back up just a little bit there. So you went in and learned a bunch of cool ninja stuff on YouTube, and then you applied that, and then you got half as many more views in what'd you say, in 90 days or in a month or something like that? So give us a one or two of those little nuggets that it
will cost you $1 million. No. $1 million. So what I did was learning behind the scenes, and I want to put a little star asterisk dot dash bullet. When I did this, I was ahead of the curve of doing this at the time. Now I think it's more par for the course. So you wouldn't expect to see the same level of results, but I do promise you, I've worked with, I think, probably 24 people on their channels individually, and only one person I've worked with has not seen at least a 15% increase in 90 days by applying these.
Nice.
So, and sometimes it's been a lot more drastic than that. So here's some of the key things I changed. I changed how I wrote my titles. I changed how I wrote my descriptions. I put what I call a universal description in each and every video. And
so let me interrupt real quick. So that's as if somebody landed on video 27 and it's their first one, so that becomes their kind of jumping off point, right? Is that the idea? Like that's where the intro, so that they're being indoctrinated into the series at any point rather than feeling like they came in the middle? Is that what the idea is?
For me, it wasn't about the series at all. It was about how are people searching and how is YouTube referring me. So if you want to really get big on YouTube in terms of understanding keywords and search engine optimization and all of that stuff, there's a couple things you need to know. Number one is this: people do not search by keywords anymore. Keywords is an old word. How do people search? How do I do this? Where do I go for this? How can I find this? How do I become a better whatever?
This is Jill talking into her mobile phone for those of you not watching the video of this.
Oh yeah, sorry. We're on video. So this mobile phone, this sexy device with this pretty screen that matches the color of my eyes. Oh, you can't see that either if you're on if you're audio. Man, you're missing out. Google me now. No, just totally joking. But with this, we ask questions.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I was ahead of the curve, I think, in that for searching in 2013 when I changed everything and I put all my titles in the form of questions. Wow. So I'm kind of like pat myself on the back for that a little bit, but I also realized then how people were searching was changing. And so, for example, from 2014 to 2015, the number of searches that started with the words how to increased by 70% on search engines. So we are fundamentally searching differently, and it's not just enough anymore to place communication skills, business communication, whatever. We have to be able to serve people by answering specific questions, because when people have questions, they want answers. And if you're a person who helps them answer their own question, you have empowered them and they're not going to forget that. And so that's really the secret.
Well, that's really great. You know what I see as an extension of that strategy, which is really brilliant, is that by asking the question as the title, you've already chunked down the video to be a bite size, not because you're answering a question instead of a rambling, here's a whole half hour on whatever. Instead, it's how do I do this? Here's how you do this. And you can get that answer across in a minute or 2 minutes. And, and that's where you get the consumption rate to go up, because, as soon as they see it's a 29-minute video, they just go pass. I don't have time for that now.
Yeah. And in YouTube world, here's the other thing I did. So I did those things, and, to your listeners out there, Yeah, this page is still up. It's a landing page I did for a conference a while ago, but you can still get it. There's a PDF handout, 10 variables to YouTube success. The 3 that I talked about plus 7 others are on there for you with links to other resources. And if you go to bit.ly/NSA15, all in lowercase, so bit.ly/NSA15, all in lowercase, you can, put in your email and you get this PDF download that explains all those things. So for those of you struggling in YouTubeville right now, go do it. It's a free resource. Grab it. It's cool. But what else changed, and this is important for anyone to know, and this is marketing now on Facebook or any type of online marketing, is the owners of the site want people to stay on their site longer. And so what I did was I looked at, back to September 2013, when I'm doing all this analysis, my videos had like an 85% retention rate, which is unheard of in YouTube world, right? Pretty much unheard of. But let's even say for ease of math here, 80%. 80% of 60 seconds is what? 48 seconds. So that means although my videos are greatly watched, they're only on YouTube for 48 seconds. Whereas if I would, let's say, combine 5 1-minute videos together, now have 300 seconds, and they stayed for 50% of the time, that's 150 seconds that they're on the page, and YouTube likes that a little better. Now, there's some magic number, some ratio, some percentage, whatever, that no mortal knows unless you are the one who created that code for YouTube. Mm-hmm. But what I also found was when I did those retitling, and then I also put 5 1-minute videos together to create about a 5-minute video, that one video has over 300,000 views now. Because what happens is when people are watching videos on your channel, YouTube will suggest you as a channel more. When people are watching a certain video, YouTube will suggest that video more because they know on average that they're going to get people on the site for at least 2.5 more minutes. So it's a safe bet if you're already watching a video on business communication presentation that they can refer you Jill's video because they're going to keep you on the site longer before you click off. And the 2 huge metrics you want to look to, and I know this conversation is probably going in a different way now, Nick, than you intended, but drop the knowledge bombs here. You want to look at 2 metrics. If you go into your video manager, under your analytics to your traffic sources, you want to see YouTube search and YouTube suggested video at the top of those traffic sources, because what that means is that, one, when people are typing in questions or keywords or searching, that your video is actually relevant, and number 2, it means that they're staying on YouTube's site longer. So the more you can do that, and that does require accurate descriptions with accurate questions, keywording, etc., but it also means providing quality content. You combine all those together, and that's how I had a video that I initially titled "Do the Penguin," changed that video title, which had at the end of my first year, I think like 200 views, changed it to "How to Calm Your Nerves Before Public Speaking, do the Penguin," and now it's like 10,000 views.